Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to make a classic chocolate chip cookie, and not just any, a Nestle chocolate chip cookie. But I'm going to make two batches of the chocolate chip cookies today, one with my new Hauswirt M5 electric stand mixer, and then another one with my KitchenAid. And we are going to see how they compare. So let's get started. I'm going to do the Hauswirt first, so it's same ingredients, same everything. I'm just going to see the difference between my two mixers. So we need to first beat together 1 cup of butter. So 2 sticks of butter. And now we also need to put in 3/4 of a cup of packed brown sugar and 3/4 of a cup of white sugar or granulated sugar. Now I am going to cream these. So it says, until creamy. I also need 1 teaspoon of vanilla, so I'm going to get that in there too. But so I need to cream these. And so I really like about the Hosford is that my beater paddle, as you can see here, it has like the silicone scraper on it, so I shouldn't have to scrape my bowl, which I really like because I really don't like to scrape it. It just takes extra time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my Hosford to speed 6. My butter's in the way. There we go. Because that's about middle of the road. The Hosford does have 11 speeds, so that's pretty medium, which is about where I normally cream my butter. And then I can also set the time if I want, so then I can just kind of, set it and not have to worry about watching the clock or anything like that. So I'm just gonna do. Oh yeah, this is seconds. I always have to hesitate on that for a minute. Okay, I'm gonna give it 5 minutes to cream and. All right, that's looking good and creamy. It only took 4 minutes, so that actually, saved me some time. Okay, that looks really good. What I need to do is add my eggs. So we have 2 eggs today, and I'm going to add one at a time, beating well after each. Now it is kind of cool too that the Hosford has the control panel up here at the top, so I don't have to like bend over to see what speed I am running. Look at the speeds on your mixer. A lot easier to see up here. All right, there we go. I'm going to let you guys see the mix in here. Okay, it's looking really good, nice and creamy. Are going to add our dry ingredients. So the 2 1/4 cup of flour, plus an extra tablespoon because I am not putting nuts in our cookies today. 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to add that a little bit at a time. So I'm just going to pour a little bit in here. Okay. And then get her to run. I love how much mess I always make in the kitchen. You see how much flour I have over on my thing. If I didn't have this little shield, flour would be everywhere. Yeah, but I mean, look at that. Anyway, all right, and now I'm going to put in my chocolate chips. So where did I? That's 2 cups of chocolate chips are going to go into my mixer. Okay. Now it does say to stir these, so I'm just going to put it on a lower speed, so that way I don't, break the pieces too much. I'll do 2. There you go. I only had to run that for like 20 seconds, and it's well mixed in there. That was great. I'm going to put this in my fridge for a little bit while I work on the other dough with my KitchenAid mixer, so that they're baked at the same time, so we can compare everything. But this dough, I mean, look at that. Texture looks great. Looks like a chocolate chip cookie, and it mixed really well. So kudos. Worked awesome. Okay, I'm ready to do the exact same recipe with my KitchenAid. So my first step is to cream those wet ingredients again. So my 2 sticks of butter and my 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 3/4 cup white sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla. I make these a lot. We make a lot of chocolate chip cookies, so I just figured this was a good recipe to give a test to. So I don't have a timer on this one, so I'm just going to have to watch the clock for about 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, depending on the creaming. Okay, that looks about creamed. It took me an extra minute to cream that one then versus the Hosford. I did have to scrape it down a couple times just to make sure that everything got mixed in. But now we're going to add our eggs one at a time. Okay, that looks really good. I did have to scrape in between the eggs. I'm going to put my shield on first, though. Now I'm going to add my dry ingredients just like I did before. Okay, my shield almost fell into the bowl while I was mixing it. I'm not even making that up. I like bumped it a little bit because it doesn't sit on here very well, and I bumped it and it almost fell into the bowl. Whoops. Definitely won't have that one with the Hauswirt because that one's like suctioned on there. My dough does look very nice. It looks nice and creamy. Ready to go. I just need to stir in my chocolate chips. So let's get those in there, 2 cups, and we'll just stir. We have our dough now made with our KitchenAid as well. The doughs look very similar. They look the same between the two. So that's good. You know, you're getting a good cookie on both. But yeah, there was a lot more scraping to do with the KitchenAid. And like I said, my little shield, the little plastic guard, almost fell off in the KitchenAid. So now that's all good to go. Okay, that looks really good as well. Yeah, it looks just about like the other one. So I'm going to let this one sit in the fridge while I get the other one out and put it on the cookie sheets. Okay, nice and chilled. We are going to set the oven to 375 to bake, and then I am going to use my cookie scoop to get all of my cookies laid out on my tray. Okay, let's get these guys in the oven. Okay, my first batch is ready. All right, nice and golden. Let me get my KitchenAid ones on the trays. Okay, KitchenAid one going in. There we go. Okay, the KitchenAid cookies are done. All right. Now, those look really good too. There's a little bit more color on these than my usual when I bake these cookies, but I'm still getting used to my new oven, so it's probably just that. But there you have it. Nice homemade fresh cookies. Nothing's quite like a warm, fresh baked chocolate chip cookie. I love when there's like a little bit of a crunch on the outside, but then the inside is nice and gooey. Not like underbaked gooey. They're perfect. Perfect. So both of these mixtures did great making the cookies. The Hosford does have some really nice features. The scraper paddle worked great. The quietness, I can't get over how quiet this one is compared to the KitchenAid. I do a lot of my baking at nap time, so that's really, really useful. My kids' nap time, not mine. Also, if you're limited on space, the Hosford's pretty nice. You don't have to have the access to the side of it like you do with the KitchenAid, to see what speed you're running. It's all on the top. You know, keep that in mind. Um, so yeah, the KitchenAid also is a lot more expensive than the Hosford. The Hosford is at least $100 cheaper. I'd have to. It's $259, I think is what it was. And then if you use code 15 Beatitude, you can save an extra 15% off your Hosford. So it's a lot cheaper option for you if you are interested in making some delicious chocolate chip cookies. But anyway, be sure to check the description below for the link to the Hosford along with that code. And then you subscribe, and then keep an eye out for when I make my next delicious bake. Anyway, I will see you next bake.